up to speed, up to speed, up to speed.
Live from the apocalypse, setting a course, charting a course for learning more stuff. This is State of the Game. My name is Dano, and the pessimism that dominates me allows me to celebrate the people I had no faith in when they exceed what I thought they could do. That's where I'm at. And I am joined every week by my co-host who uppercuts fascists like a Street Fighter character, like a spinning uppercut. It's amazing to watch. Don't be a fascist around K Diggy. Thank you for being here every day.
Yeah, man.
Every week, not every day. God, can you imagine if we did this every day? I'd still be talking. So we have legends in the chat, man. Legends in the chat yet again. We're talking this whole fucking world of music that we celebrate, that we adore, these insane crunchy sounds that we love. They wouldn't fucking be here without IB Fokuz, Collasoul Structures, Jyroscope. I was waiting patiently for my time with Jyroscope, and they are here. Thank you for being here.
Man, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Thank you.
And we have one of the people near and dear to my heart. My son lost a tooth in his bathroom. Iceberg Theory, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
It was when my son met you, that was when he was like, oh, he was nice. Like, rappers can be like nice, normal people. You know? I don't think he knew that shit. I think he was like, I think he thought it was a world of Kanye's, you know what I mean? And he was just gonna
I don't know. Nice and normal usually isn't how people describe me, but I'll take it.
Yeah, you were good. You were good to us, man. We appreciate it. So I just think you're absolutely fantastic and at what you do, producing and rapping. Thank you for being here yet again.
Thank you.
Yeah, we are here. Man, this Overdue project is fabulous.
Thank you.
How is it being received?
Getting a lot of love, man. Getting a lot of love from the core fans, the new fans. But I think what I love to see is people receiving it the way that we wanted to deliver it. And it started with not overthinking it and just having fun. You know what I'm saying? And I think people are receiving it in that same light. But I'll let Collasoul speak to it as well.
Yeah. No, I mean, you said it though. Like, we set out to obviously, connect again with the incredible Iceberg Theory. He's amazing, MCN producer, but like specifically the soundscapes that he creates. I always felt like we are a really good match. So I was like pumped and excited to get it, to lock in with him again and do something fun, something crazy. Like, we didn't overthink it. We just wanted to just honestly like let our hair down, if you will, and just go bonkers. Really, that's it. Honestly,
that's awesome. That's a fun place to be. Loose, ready to go where you go. So this show is full of theories, right? Random theories, and you sparked one on open ballot, right? You said something like top 10, even if we're not in your top 10. And it got me thinking about, so what people talk about in the space, of music criticism is like, why is there not a lot of rap groups like there used to be a lot of rap groups, right?
Yeah.
You guys both have a lifetime of experience being in groups, right? From Gyroscope, Tomorrow Kings, you guys have done this. So, the my theory here in response to why are there not as many groups is that being in a group to a certain extent is a selfless act.
100%.
I mean,
Yes.
and there's logistics to back that up, right? You know, splitting the money, blah blah blah, right?
Mhm.
But beyond just that, if Gyroscope rockets up and
Mhm.
gets love, there's going to be a portion of your audience that won't check who the members are. They'll just bump the music, right? And it's like that with any group, right? Camp Low, whoever it
Mhm.
is, you have to be interested to be interested beyond
Yeah.
the surface level. Whereas if you listen to Isaiah Rashad, you know it's Isaiah Rashad, right? Like
Yeah.
that's immediate. Whether it's good or bad, it's Isaiah Rashad, and it's an immediate brand that sticks. You guys have been a part of collectives, and you sacrifice kind of personal glory in that sense.
Mm.
Um, it you know for the to create something bigger than yourself, right? Does that make sense, or is that something I made up?
No, it
That
makes
makes a
sense.
lot of sense.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Colosso.
No,
I'll
I was
speak
gonna say
to
you
it
want to
after
go
you.
first, but it's up to you.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, we have sacrificed a lot, uh, specifically with Gyroscope, because it's like we were already Gyroscope since at least 2004, 2003, 2004. You know what I mean? And then once we came together with all the brothers in Tomorrow Kings, it's like we did have to kind of like push that back for a moment to give Tomorrow Kings its like breath and let it really like breathe and grow. But you know, we never lose ourselves within that. And I mean, like that's one thing that we are making a point to do. Actually, funny enough, with mentioning Tomorrow Kings is making sure everyone knows who all the individual members are within the crew. Let them know that in Gyroscope there are two MCs, Colossal Structure and IB Focus. Like
Right.
they have to know that. We're gonna make sure to it this time. But we did kind of push Gyroscope to the backseat for a while, and like sometimes, like you know, I do think about it, like oh maybe they don't know me and him individually, but when they hear the music, they know there's two of us, and they know that we're ill, and we like collectively put together something that you know that took two individual parts to make it great and make it what it is. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, the positive part is you get to like sow seeds all over the place. The people who know
Yeah.
music know y'all and respect what you do and respect what you've done. And so, and as they succeed, you get to see traces of your lineage right out there
Mhm.
in the world. You guys have had, I think, a huge effect on the world of the underground rap that we see now.
Mhm.
So that's got to be positive. Were
I
you
appreciate that, man.
were you gonna say something, IB? Were you coming from?
Yeah, it's very similar to what Colosso said. I think unbiasedly, we did feel the sacrifice of kind of like the greater good of the Tomorrow Kings umbrella. And I think not just Gyroscope, everybody, like Sketch,
Mhm.
Malak, everybody in the crew made a decision that we're going to focus all our energy to make this umbrella what it is today. And I think just that sacrifice and investment is the reason why 12 years later, after Nigga Rig Time Machine, people still want to hear what Tomorrow Kings has to deliver. And so that's the positive of it. I think that with sacrifice, you do lose certain things. And I think that if I look back at like the 2010 like because we released Ragtime in like 2011, we had On the Rocks, and then like literally 2016 is when we released On the House. You know what I'm saying? And so
Right.
like within that period, I think that honestly with Gyroscope, we sort of lost our momentum of what we built because a lot of people that was in the beginning of Gyroscope, we were the cats that came into open mics and just like our mindset was just to slaughter every open mic that we went to.
Right.
Sometimes we went into it and we didn't have tracks. We just went a cappella and just live and just like going crazy. And we kind of cut our teeth in the underground scene of Chicago that way. And so like our momentum was built more on live performance than it was of actually having a project to give people a website to direct people to. Like I can't tell you how many times in that era where we would rip a show and then people will come to us and be like, "Hey, we want to buy an album," and we didn't have an album to sell.
We were just like,
You know what I'm saying?
you
Or they'll
saw
be
it,
You,
right?
like,
you guys were performing without any project release being
For
no
released
project
years.
release. Like for
for years.
like
Yeah.
that
Wow.
around that
Wow.
time, we was in my mom's basement cooking up. We was in his mom's house cooking up, and we had material, but we didn't really have like a studio where we could like record and like we didn't have those resources at the time. And so shout out to Chance, not Chance the rapper, but Chance from the Naturals. Uh Years ago we met him at Columbia College, and he was the one
Like
that
oh
like
five.
yeah, so like he helped me record my first solo projects, the All Things Paintbrush, Spitting Glands, and then that's what led into us recording Ragtime. So like that was when we was officially able to have a product to say, okay, now we have a product to give. So like that, when I just think back in hindsight, like there was a lot of momentum lost because we what we had to show for was live, and you had to be there to see it.
Yeah.
And people, it was word of mouth of like, yo, y'all heard about these cats? You ever seen them perform? But we never had nothing that could be passed along. It was only word of mouth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, and I I'm glad you made that point. I just think there's so many times we talk to people, Kay, all the time where they're like, if you're in a competitive environment with a lot of dope MCs, right? Chicago, Philly, New York, on and on, right? We know where the top places are, where it's like, what did they say? Fucking oh, it was Gabe Nandez who was like, my janitor was nice, you know, like that's like that's a different environment. So that when you're in that place and you're just in the mentality of like, I'm shredding everybody, I'm getting better at this, I don't give a fuck, I'm gonna do this, and then after years of that you look around and you're like, okay, what now though? Right? Like now I've shredded all these people. Now my name is good, but how do I make a song?
Yeah. Oh
When
yeah.
when was that for you? Like when was that where you guys looked around and were like, all right, well what's next now? Like we've proved our point.
I would say this, it wasn't necessarily how do we make a song, because we were making songs.
Mhm.
I think in that period of time we was learning the art of recording. So
Yeah.
like our tone,
Mhm.
because the thing was is that if you listen to even like my two first solo projects, which Collasoul was on,
Yeah.
a lot of how I approached recording was the same mindset of aggressively how I approach the stage. And I
Right.
had to learn the difference between the tone of recording for a song versus versus like just being live on stage. So like that was something I had to grow in, right? And know that those are two different arts of how you approach that. So the songs was being made, but I think just the craft was being developed. Um, if
And,
that answers your question.
Yeah.
interesting. And what is the distinction? Because I've seen a lot of performers where the album, you listen to their album, and then you see them live, and it doesn't quite translate.
Translate.
So what is it? What is that distinction between the stage and recording that you found?
So I'll say this and I'll pass it to Colosso. I think with the wisdom I have now, uh, I would tell my younger self, like, the difference is that when you're recording a song that you want people to play over and over and over again. So you are mastering you're literally trying to perfect and master a moment, right? It's a moment in time that you are recording. So that's the reason why you might record it multiple times to get that type of feeling. So every time somebody plays that song, it feels the same. It has that feeling, right? Live has I think the flexibility of being altered because now you're in front of a crowd where depending on like when I say me and Collasoul cut our teeth, we cut our teeth by being in shows where we didn't have no monitors. We had whack mics. We had to learn how to project our voice and have cadence and have breath control and have a way of how you're going to be active moving but still having breath control and still articulating your words and being such in a zone where you could jump in the crowd but still spitting out those lyrics effortlessly. And so it's a different experience for a room full of people versus somebody that wants to put on their headphones and lose themselves in that song.
Yeah,
If that makes sense.
actually, that's actually a really good way to put it. How I always would say is like the difference between like the recording and live is basically the recording is a conversational piece, like literally you talking directly to the listener as if you're right in front of them in a quiet room. Whereas like the performance is literally like a prep rally. Like I got a bullhorn.
Yeah.
We're about to go to war. This is a war cry. Like me and IB, the way we treat performances, and we always have. This is like since high school. We treat it like we're going out for war with like a sword and a shield. We attack every performance with so much like velocity and ferocity. Like that's why he says like we really cut our teeth performing because we I remember back when I want to say in like 2007 when we did a little tour of the East Coast. We played New York, we played Boston, we played I think Connecticut maybe.
You about to talk about the New Eurekan?
Yeah, when we played at the New Eurekan Cafe and we got up there and initially we were going to perform like a song obviously over an actual beat, a track. But for some reason, there was an issue with the sound and the mics. So we threw the mics down and rapped a cappella throughout the crowd. Full room of people. A cappella, weaving through the crowd, almost rapping outside like everyone had to hear us. We had to let them know who we were at that moment. Because obviously they didn't understand it at the time. So that's just the difference, in my opinion. Like when you're performing in front of people, whether it's 5 to 10, like it's a conversation, but it's a loud one. It's a in your face one. It's a now they get to really see me act it out. Like on the recording, we're having a conversation. We're talking like it's just you and me. But when we're performing live, it's a show. It's a true like spectacle.
Yeah, man.
And if I could just shortly add with the live aspect, because we really it's blood, sweat, and tears when it comes to the live. Like that's a heavily experience for us. And when I say that, we've matured to understand that we're actually performing for ourselves. We're not even like the crowd is witnessing us perform for ourselves.
Right.
And that's the reason why it's an experience for the crowd, because we're not doing it for you anymore.
Right.
We're doing it for the standards that we have for ourselves because we're truly fans before we're artists. Like that's the reason why we approach our music at a high level that like as a fan, would I want this from my heroes?
Right.
And if it ain't good enough, then it ain't good enough. And so that's the standard we have on the stage as well as when we have it with our pen.
You get to be here for it, but it is going to be at the personal standard. One of the most interesting things about this topic that stuck with me, there was a Mark Maron podcast where he interviewed Iggy Pop and of the Stooges, and he was asking him because the reputation is that Iggy Pop and the Stooges were very influenced by the Doors, right? So he's like, "Tell me about how much you love the Doors." And he said, "Yeah, I mean, I love the Doors music, but I went to the show and it was awful." It was awful. And he was like, it was awful because they couldn't recreate everything they had done to the record in the studio. They had done so much to it in the studio that when you got live, it wasn't, it was half of what it was. Um, so he was like, when I was building the Stooges, I wanted it to be this big kind of pulverizing music, but I wanted to be able to perfectly do that live and not lose anything. And I think that you made me think of that with approaching it with that live mentality. Yeah, that's awesome.
For sure.
The yeah. So iceberg theory, we had talked years ago, and you were super into Chicago hip hop. You did the Solar Five, Memento Mori, which is still one of his best. So how did Gyroscope get on your radar? Where were they on your Chicago list?
think didn't I when I was going through Chicago, just when I was like, God, I don't know. I'm terrible with years and stuff, but there was one. I feel like I feel like we met when I was going through Chicago, and there was like some performance going on, and Def C was there, right? Am I am
Yep.
I am I am I
Yeah.
right on this?
Oh yeah. I can't recall what year though either.
I
But
don't
yeah, we did.
know. Yeah, and then I feel like this album, I feel like I've just known you guys, and then I feel like I've had this album. I feel like I've been listening to it for, you know what I mean? It's like it's not like I can't tell you when anything has happened, but it happened, and it's just happened in a lot of realities or something. I don't know, but you know, but yeah, I was a fan ever since I heard them. But I think that was probably the first time we met, and
Yeah.
then I think then we did that Bloodstained Persian Rugs song, and then you guys did the video for that, which was really cool. So
Yeah.
I was hyped on that, and then I don't know how I mean, then it was I think I was just uh pitching my beats, and it seems like for some reason or another Chicago rappers you know like rapping on my beats. I guess that, and want to give me a chance to produce albums for them. I mean, that's kind of and then I'm obviously a fan, so it just it was an honor.
That's dope. That's dope. Was there anything you sent over that you were like, I don't know if they're gonna rap on this, but it would be interesting if they did?
I'm trying to.
Felt like was it
I think I said a whole bunch of stuff. I think and then a whole bunch of different sounds, because I think even when you go through the
right?
songs now, there's like because it's like I can't even really sample snitch on myself, because I can't even tell you what I sampled or when, or it's like I just like have the beats, and then I'm just like, okay, these are all the ones that I could like kind of hear you know different people on, like when I'm putting together a pack. But sometimes I would just have big general packs, and then I would send it to people, so I forget which. There might have been a mixture of the two. Even I'm not.
Yeah.
I couldn't even tell you how it all. But then that. But then yeah, then the album just kind of came together, and it was great. And everything, like every song was different. Every like a lot like they just these guys just knew what beats to choose, what they were going to sound good on. What it's like I didn't need to do much producing. It's just like just kind of provide the palette of stuff to that I think would fit, and then that's all I really had to do.
That's awesome. Yeah. How would you describe the difference between like the Tomorrow King sound and the Gyroscope sound to people who were like getting to know both?
Hmm. It's a good question.
Yeah.
Gotta make me actually thinking.
Can I just ask a quick question? Because I wasn't very familiar with Gyroscope or Tomorrow Kings. Was Tomorrow Kings first and then Gyroscope, or was it Gyroscope first and then Tomorrow Kings?
We've been Gyroscope first for sure,
Okay.
since at least technically since like 2003.
Right.
But the name didn't stick until what, like 2005,
Oh,
I
oh
mean.
five, oh five.
Yeah, '05. Yeah. And then Tomorrow Kings, we connected, well,
Oh
the
seven.
Tomorrow Kings, yeah, umbrella got created in like the end of '07, early '08, 2008. Yeah.
Mm.
and Tomorrow Kings took off, and as you said, Gyroscope kind of took a back burner, and then I'm sure there was people who probably discovered it after Tomorrow Kings and felt, so it's an interesting thing, but it's always felt completely different to me, right? And so that's why I'm
Yeah, it's a
interested.
totally the sound is totally. I mean, this I don't think a lot of the beats that you guys chose. I don't think I would picture on a Tomorrow Kings album. You know,
I don't think they would be. Yeah, I don't know.
So but that, yeah. But I don't know what I don't know what you'd even describe these. You know what I mean? It's like there's like some like mariachi kind of beat or something, and then you know what I mean. There's all kinds of fucking beats on the album. So I don't even
Yeah.
know how I would describe the sound of this one. It's just kind of you know
I would
it's all
I
cohesive,
would
but
love a Calypso Tomorrow King song, a Calypso Tomorrow
Uh,
King. Guess what?
and we would totally be down for
Yeah, yeah.
that. 100%, actually.
I'm really interested for any of you all to kind of describe what the difference is because I like to hear it from the outside looking in. I kind of have a thought process of how we view it, but
Yeah.
I am interested from you all.
I've got theories. I've certainly always got theories. For like, so Tomorrow Kings is almost um like heavy metal. It's almost like heavy metal. Like in rap musical form. In like,
Yeah.
when heavy metal starts and it crashes and it fills the fucking room, like there's no way to get away from it. That's Tomorrow Kings, right? Tomorrow Kings, and it's just like holy shit. And when people hear what's coming, they're gonna be like holy shit. So, um, but I started to view Gyroscope in more of a De La Soul way. Like
Mm,
Mm,
there was like,
it's a huge compliment. Thank you.
like
Huge.
De La Soul was so fun. They were always fun, even when they were pissed. You know what I mean? And they were smart, and they were human, and they were personal, but they were sociological. Like they were fucking everything. Like that's why their legacy has gotten better over time. No,
Mm.
you know,
that's a big compliment, man. Because De
That's
La
huge.
Soul
Yeah.
is so slept on,
right?
Yeah.
but they're so true to the essence. They're so dynamic. So yeah, I appreciate that
Huge
compliment for
influence
sure.
of ours, actually, too, along with like organized noise. Uh, I mean, organized confusion, rather. Sorry.
Right.
Organized confusion, Outcast, Mobb Deep, bunch of duos. Incredible, historic duo.
Yeah, I always thought that so in terms of underrated, De La Soul is an interesting case because I think they were like taken for granted. They were
Yeah.
so solid for
Agreed.
so long
Yeah.
that we took them for granted. I saw them live with my wife, Rock the Bells, one of the best performances I've ever seen. And we came out of there being like, wow. But it still didn't launch them for me where I was like, I'm consciously like gonna rep for De La Soul. I just knew like Stakes is High is the album I shovel snow to. Like I need that
Oh, yeah.
album if I'm shoveling snow. Like I hadn't thought about it until way too late. And that's when Alaska Adams, shout out to Alaska Adams, was like, Balloon Mind State is that shit. And I was like, okay, that's fair. So I dug into that. But yeah, it took a while to be like, this was actually incredible music. So yeah, I just think it's that would be my Gyroscope versus Tomorrow Kings. Uh, Kay, did you listen to Tomorrow Kings, the Time Machine?
No, I did not.
Oh, you got
I
Oh, you got to do it. Got
got to
to do
enjoy.
it.
You're gonna enjoy that. That's gonna be a good time.
Enjoy
It'll
it,
be
man.
good. It'll be good for you to hear Nigga Rick Time Machine before you hear Salt
Yeah,
okay.
because
definitely.
it's you're going to hear a lot of growth on many different levels.
Hmm.
Mm. And
A
then
lot of
hear
growth.
industrial music too. Like industrial music
Industrial
is on
man,
Bandcamp. Yeah, we got a lot of fun with that one.
industrial yeah,
Yeah.
industrial music is the beginning right there.
That one came
Um,
out in 2010.
Okay.
I would say this when I think about. Hold on for 1 second. Go ahead, Collasoul. I gotta move rooms because my son about to come up here.
All good.
All good.
No, I was just saying, yeah, please like enjoy whatever you haven't heard, man. Take your
Yeah.
time, do a little dive, and let us know what you think about
Yeah, man.
Okay.
it. Seriously, yeah, let us know what you think about it. We're finally really getting back into a groove with Gyroscope and Tomorrow Kings. Obviously, we just released Overdue, but we got a lot lined up for Gyroscope. A lot after this.
Yeah.
Not sure if I'm gonna like spill any news right now, but we got a lot that we're still cooking up, and then we're crazy
Because you
pumped.
did hint at it, because you had the last song of the album, you make that hint,
Yeah,
but you blank out the date though.
yeah. That's a funny story, by the way. IB actually dated the album and said a different date. And I like he said a specific date, and I was like, "Yo, we might have to change that. Do not date the
Oh,
album, bro. Change that right now."
Yeah.
So I was gonna say this. I like your reference about heavy metal because I do look at Tomorrow Kings as like heavy metal rap. Um, Abstract, boom bap, knock you in the face, unapologetic. Um, but a lot of times the comparison is like we're like the Wu-Tang of Chicago.
Right.
And obviously me and Rob hate making comparisons like that, but I think that like you get Chicago in such a dynamic way with all of us. You know what I'm saying? Like that Chicago is not always known for. You know what I'm saying? And so I think the other backstory behind Tomorrow Kings is that when me and Collasoul hit the scene, these were individuals that we ran into that we just gravitated to. And it was like, you all are cut from the same cloth as us. Like, you all see things the way we see it. Even if it's a different avenue of how you arrive there, like we all kind of resonated in that type of space. So I think that's what led me to kind of like talking to Sketch, like, yo, I want to assemble these brothers together. Like, let's make this official. Um, Gyroscope, though, it's in our name. And I always explain this to people that, when you think about a gyroscope, for lack of better words, a gyroscope is what keeps a plane balanced. You know what I'm saying? So if a plane tilts left or right, the gyroscope keeps you in your seat. It makes you feel like, everything is balanced. And so the whole concept behind our name is that you could put us in any environment. We could be in any genre. We can be in any type of anything, and we're going to adapt to it and make it ours. And so that was always the approach live. That was always the approach with the music. So that's the reason why when you hear our catalog, you hear a project that's all rock. You hear a project that's all house. You hear a project that could be kind of like soulful. You can hear
Or
a track that's
bluesy.
kind of
Yeah.
throwback. And it's like, no matter what it is, we always make it our own. And so I think in that sense, Gyroscope has Tomorrow Kings is what it is, right? It's like this organic conglomerate of just like crazy minds, imaginative minds. I think that with me and Rob, we are not afraid to cross any boundary. And so like you can get no matter what you listen to or what you like, we got something for you because we will go anywhere and still find a way to reground it to what we do best.
Right. And it doesn't feel nothing feels forced, right? In the sense that I'm from a group of people that were always ready to talk about anything. There
Mhm.
was no, oh, don't talk about that. We're in this place or in this time. Or everybody was cool with talking about whatever. And that was the kind of the science, right? It was like be ready for whatever's going on.
Mhm.
And that's how the lyricism feels to me, where it's like it's the conversation can go wherever it needs to go.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yeah.
and specifically, I just wanted to say the gyroscope project that I slept on the most that I wish I had known it was as important as it is. To me, Happy Medium feels like a giant
Mm.
shift to where you are now. Like, I don't know. It feels big in my
Yeah.
mind. Um, Montana Max is a bit of a genius. Rich Jones
Yes.
told me that, so I believed it.
Shout out to Rich Jones, our
Yeah,
brother. Shout out Montana Max. Yeah.
and that album is so soulful. Like most rap groups will never release something as soulful as uh you know as those five songs. So I just
Thank you for that, man.
going back on that, I was like, this is really where Gyroscope starts cherishing the groove and going like, yes, we're gonna kill you with these lyrics. We're gonna have dope hooks, but I want everybody to feel this groove like I'm feeling this groove,
Yeah.
so we can all have this good time. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. That project was specifically like for us, for me and IB, right? For us and Max, it was for our families most of all. I think, honestly, where we are as like men and as fathers and husbands.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's
and
a special
and
one to me too, in my heart for
yeah,
sure.
and majority of it, believe it or not, was literally written right before the pandemic.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
literally written in 2019, right before the pandemic, and it couldn't have been more fitting for the pandemic
Right?
to survive
yeah,
through the pandemic. The only song that was written actually after the pandemic was Frozen in Time.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
We needed one that was super groovy.
Mm.
I'm gonna give y'all a little quick sneak peek, but it's
Boom!
official.
Hey,
Oh shit,
hey, yeah.
that's dope. That's dope.
Vinyl coming. Well, vinyl. We have vinyl.
Yeah,
Vinyl will be coming to you
no,
soon.
it is worth it.
Yeah,
That
Come
was that
on,
was that was the one project where I was like, this got to be on vinyl.
yeah,
It,
makes sense.
it's it took some time, but it's official.
That makes
yeah.
sense. The uh iceberg theory. Let me tell you what I love about gyroscope lyricism. You can tell me what you love about gyroscope lyricism. Is it has a way of reverberating from the personal to the global criticism. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like songs like Work, songs like Autopilot, where there's a drinking problem, but it's connected to like the workplace and how the work is going. And it kind of it melds from a personal thing to like, damn, this is just society. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
it has a way of being a skipping stone, you know? Um, does that does that make sense to you? Have you
Yeah,
experienced?
you're always saying shit way better than I can. The way you said with the heavy metal, and then it's just like you say these things and you're asking me, and then it's like you're the one who it's like the way you capture shit when it comes to like this music, criticism space. It's just like you say these things, and it's just like, wow, yeah, that kind of gets it. You just seem to, you know. Yeah, but yeah, I think that's a really good way of describing it, where it's just like it's all very personal, but then there's also the wider societal thing, but then like then it's mixed in with rhyming, just rhyming crazy shit, so that's mixed in there too, and it's just a whole bunch of things, but yeah, it's a lot of stuff all at once, but then overall it never feels like it always feels like there's a point to it in a larger kind of
Mhm.
message, but not like a preachy message, but just kind of like a transmission of some sort, not like just, like, oh, this is what I want you to get from it. I need you to get this particular point, but I don't know.
And it's not always. It's not gyroscope is not always in your face, um, because that stuff wears you out, right? Like, um,
Yeah.
but at targeted specific times, it does get in your face, and it's awesome. My favorite verse on this project is the first verse of the last song, and the way that fucking thing opens with the mid ass celebratory fucking I was fucking
Yeah.
I listen to it.
Yeah.
I can't stop. It's beautiful.
So like it made me think of like the horns on there made me think of how many times Jay-Z's tried to like force some kind of like big band sound with like heavy horns. But
Mhm.
Iceberg does it so well and so much better. It's like no diss to Just Blaze at all. You know, I would never do that. But the way it comes off for this track to me is like done so much better than any time Jay-Z's tried to force it. Look at this, listen to this big band soundtracks. Listen to these horns. Like I'm like, this
That
shit is
line
just
killed me
so
when I
forced.
heard that. That was just a great. That was such a good. That was such a good line to spark that
Thank you,
off.
man.
I,
Thank
I
you.
was I was such a fan. We a fan of each other, man. So
Yeah.
that's
Oh
what
yeah.
builds the competition. So like
Yeah.
it's that friendly competition and like, oh, we taking it there? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like younger cats who like I think they've come up thinking older cats are all Jay-Z like hardcore.
Yeah.
And I remember going over my homie's house. We were all in the spoken word thing together, and he was super hip hop. And I played him American Gangster for the first time.
Mm.
He laughed the whole way through. He was, he was rolling up, and
Hmm.
after it was over, I was like, "What do you think?" And he was like, "Man, I love Jay-Z. That shit's hilarious." And that was
Yeah.
all it was. Like it wasn't anything beyond that dude's hilarious. Like it was that kind of thing you're talking where it's like, put your glasses up and like all kinds of this
Yeah.
everybody just thought that shit was funny. Like, we work at Walmart. We're not putting our glasses up. What are you
Yeah,
talking
like this dude is always celebrating some shit, and I'm like, dude, I just came home from work, bro. Like,
about?
I get
Right,
you. I guess I should try to celebrate me coming home and being out of work. Sure,
right.
I'll
Yeah,
take a glass
that's
of that.
another
Yeah,
thing with Gyroscope too. That I feel like it's really like relatable stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like it's always stuff that's speaking to just everyday experience in one
yeah,
form or another. It never it always feels like very grounded in just this world, and it has a lot of import, but it just has that feeling of groundedness, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Shout out to people who can work a full shift at a shitty job and then go home for like 3 hours and pretend they're rich off cocaine. That's a lot of work.
that's
That's a
yeah.
lot of that's a lot of energy expended. You know what I mean? Building
Oh my gosh,
persona. I can't I couldn't do it, man. Um,
Wow. That's deep.
that's amazing. That's amazing.
but yeah, no, I love that song. I love that as a closer to the project. I think Kay, the first four songs are so fucking wild to me.
In terms of the diversity,
Yes, absolutely.
yes,
In terms of the diversity of sounds, there were
yeah.
definitely moments where I was sitting with those songs like I I don't know. I can't even think of a bunch of people who would have done these beats. Like, Reset is so interesting, such just so different. Shooting from the hip is so wild. Like, I was like, man, I think a lot of people would have been like, oh no, man, you got the doot doots. Give me a doot doot beat, you know? Um,
No, we had to
Yeah,
go
that was
crazy.
like my favorite. I'm so happy. That was the one I was. I think that was.
Yeah,
I think that and then five. I was happy you chose five too.
yeah.
That one. That those. But yeah, I was so happy you chose that beat. That was just so like I don't know. It's just such a. I just love that beat, and I didn't think anyone. It just was something I didn't think anyone would really rap on. But I had to. But I'm
Oh,
like. But that's what I try to do. Where it's like I just kind of if I see something, even if it's something I don't think if it catches my ear, it's like okay, that's enough. You know what I mean? It's
mhm.
like if it catches my ear for one reason or another, I have to figure it's going to catch someone else's ear. So
Mm.
it's like even if it's something that like is a little unorthodox or I wouldn't think that would be like popular and contemporary, whatever. It's just like I'm like okay, like if it's catching my ear, it's gonna resonate with someone else probably.
Oh, we honestly, we are kind of nuts. I'll tell you that. Me and IB for sure. Like when we heard the pack of beats, I'm like, we are gonna do this shit, and we're gonna challenge ourselves to the max. But like, it wasn't like nothing was forced. It was like, yo, let's just have fun. Like we played all the beats, and I was like, oh yeah, these are all. What the hell's going? On? Oh, Sorry, guys, my daughter's very loud. Anywho, um, no, like when we heard the pack of beats, I was like, yo, these are super colorful beats, like
Yeah.
colorful beats and interesting beats. Every sample is like, I don't know what kind of shit you was on, Iceberg, but I gotta tell you, like, you grabbed inspiration and samples from everywhere. I
Yep.
love that so
Mhm.
much because I'm like,
Thank
no
you.
one is gonna know what the hell's coming next. Every song is just gonna be something wild. Like what? Like
It's crazy because when we was we had a lot of fun with it. I think that like to what Collasoul said, like this was a project that we did not overthink at all. We was just like whatever we feel in the moment, in the present moment, let's just do it. Let's not
let's do it.
overthink it. Let's just have fun. And I remember after we like finished all the demos, we didn't call it overdue yet. Overdue is fitting just because it was some time since Happy Medium.
Right.
But I was literally trying to think about an international title because I felt like the project felt international. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like it was like international sounds and stuff.
Mm.
So like that was what my mind was at the time.
That makes sense. Yeah, and
Yeah.
the cover has that glow to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that makes sense. The thing about Iceberg, Iceberg theory, more of my crazy theories. I think Iceberg is he allows his process to be as impractical as he wants it to be so that he can make the music he wants to make. Like he doesn't sit down and go, I'm gonna make a pack of beats for AJ Sway. Like I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying to get AJ Sway. He just makes music. And like when Smoke Detector came out, I messaged you.
Yeah.
I said, "You made a fucking Bobby Womack album. What the
It's
fuck
incredible.
is
Love that
going on?"
album.
So, thank you very
And
much. Yeah, I like that. That's a really good album. Shout out
and,
to Rich.
and I think
Mm-hmm.
I it's dude that shit is never out of my car. But it's I would say that's you allow yourself. You're like, this is a 5 minute interlude. It'll happen somewhere. You know, like and if you're going to really explore the boundaries of what you can do as an artist, you got to give yourself that room and that space.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you got to hang up the brand consultant over there and let yourself fucking work.
Because it's all time, it's all the process, and it's all the time too. And I think I got a lot of that, like just kind of observing like Fanon and how he works, and
Yeah.
that was a big part of it. Just in kind of because a lot of what I learned from production was just based on him sending me beats and him telling me stuff on how to do stuff too, but just generally like seeing what he would sample and the phases he would go through and stuff like that. And it's like it's all different stuff, and it it's not like, and then it's like when I mean, I'm sure it's different from person to person, depending on how, but at least because I was getting, different packs, it's like, okay, when, then I could just put it together based on what I'm looking for. He's not telling me, oh, you need to rap on this beat, you need to rap on this beat, because he trusts that I could rap on whatever beat I want. You know what I mean? That it's like I could pick it myself. I mean, maybe once in a while there'll be some curation, but most of the time I try to have that same thing where it's just like make whatever beats, and then once eventually someone's gonna get to like there's not really a time limit to it. I mean, a beat's a beat. I can make a beat 5 years ago, and then someone could rap to it, 2 years from now. And if it's a good beat, it's a good beat. It's not really
This is
gonna
good.
make a difference, But it's
Timing.
like when I have the sample, I have the sample. So it's like I'm not, it's like just make it, and then then it's like if an artist hits me up, and then it's like, okay, some people will be like, oh, I want these kind of beats, and then I'll try to but then other times people are just like, yeah, just give me whatever, and then I'm like, all right, let me try to find some shit that I could hear them on, and then it's just as a fan, just trying to be like, okay, what would I want to, you know, the voice, the flow, lyrics, what if I was curating this, so then I'll try to include that in the packs of just like, but it's not like I have a clear vision of what I want it to be. I usually try to just let the artist do that.
That makes sense. So how did these 10 songs get organized?
Oh, that's a good question.
I
Um,
think I think a lot of if I'm not mistaken, we he gave us a whole bunch of beats and me and Collasoul picked out the beats that we gravitated to the most.
Yeah.
That was obviously first. I almost want to say that we might have wrote it in the order that the album is.
That's possible.
Wow.
That's possible.
Majority, like literally Open Ballad was the first track we wrote.
You know what? You're 100% right because the way we were writing to him, because we didn't have like titles to any of the beats, Iceberg had them numbered. So we did write to him in order of the numbers. He named them like 330.1. The next one was like 330 like 330.1.2 or some shit like that. But I think we did write to him in order though. Yeah.
That's amazing.
So did you write together? So when you say we write, did you write together in unison?
Nope.
This particular project, I think we wrote solo. Like Collasoul will write a verse, he'll put it on his voice memo, send it to me. I'll listen to it, and then I'll write. And we kind of was just going back and forth with it.
Yeah.
Because we were so loose with it. Like it was just like we weren't really overthinking it. And so a lot of it was just verses. And then we'll start thinking of like choruses and hooks and stuff like that.
And what made you take that approach to not overthinking this project? Like where did that come from? Do you feel like you overthought in the past?
I think
we
that
could be kind of heady. We could be heady.
Yeah. We are on worst. We are the hardest critics of ourselves for sure.
And I think like because we've done so many projects that were like themed, like Mute was themed.
Yeah.
The themed project. Ragtime was themed. Like On the Rocks was themed.
Right.
I think like it was only right that we just kind of like stretch our arms out, just be like, yo, like let's just do something. Let's just have fun. Put these beats on. What do you feel when you hear this beat? What are you thinking? Like I usually like at that time that we were creating that, I was writing every day. We also were writing Salt. We were writing Salt at the same time. No, we were writing Salt at the same time of Happy Medium.
Right.
But yeah. Oh yeah. But like at one point I was just in the zone and just writing every single day. So when we got that beat pack, we were just moving. We were moving.
I'll say this without revealing too much. But after Happy Medium, we immediately was like, okay, because as you see our catalog, like it's kind of spaced out, you know. Mm-hmm. And so after Happy Medium in 2021, we start collaborating with a particular producer I'm not going to speak of right now. And we literally wrote like 85% of that album.
Right. So
that's one album. And then we was like, okay, this project is special. And then that's when Iceberg Theory starts sending us beats, and we was like, okay, well, let's write to this and have this as kind of like a ramp up. But we didn't know what we was gonna put on it. We was just like, this is fun, it's loose, like let's have fun on this. Yep. So that was the original mindset of Overdue being a ramp up to this next project. Once we wrote Overdue, it was another producer that wanted to work with us. That's 85% done after we wrote Overdue. So we got two projects that we're sitting on right now with two different producers, but Overdue was the one that was like really getting the most care. And also too, that was like the last moments of us being with Jason Gatt. Right. And so like, we was in the studio with Jason Gatt, and we was really nurturing it. And it's funny because I remember when we came into the studio, we played that first project I'm talking about after Happy Medium to Jason Gatt, and he like, man, what was I at, man? What y'all sending? Y'all hiding music from me and stuff? So we was like, man, we got another project with Iceberg Theory. And so he started working with us to get that prepared. And so I'm saying that to say that we literally was in the mindset of like, okay, the next time we release something, we need to have some momentum going where we have
Yeah.
consistency, where it's not these big blocks of us
Spaced
not
out.
doing anything, because 2021 to 2025 is crazy. Like literally, we wanted to release Overdue in 2023. It
Yeah.
didn't work out that way. So we kept writing, kept making music. So it's a lot of stuff that we've been creating. Also, like revisiting Salt to make sure Salt got finished with TK. So there's a lot of
Mhm.
stuff going on behind the scenes, but Overdue just happened to make his way to the front line of all of it all. And
That's dope.
and that's how it blossomed.
That makes
Yeah.
sense. That like I tell people like when people, somebody releases like a really in-depth conceptual project and then
Mhm.
they'll be like, "Man, the next one they released is really loose and fun," and then just them going after it. I'm like, "That's exactly what you should do. You should you should when you're making like a real conceptual record or heavy record, you trap yourself in it
Yep.
till it's done. And when it is done, you got to celebrate. You got to
Yeah.
celebrate and go the other direction. You got to have fun with it.
Because that's a huge release, man. You let go of so much tension after that. You're like, oh, all right, let me go skip around and do a couple cartwheels now. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, personal story with it. I wrote a book, my first book, and it was like it's third person family story, bunch of characters in different places. Got it done like year and a half. And when I was done, I was so relieved. I was like, next thing I'm gonna write is first person, and it's just a funny sounding British person saying harshly honest things about marriage. That's funny to me. I want to do that. And so I did that, and it became my next book, and it was done in like 6 months, 9 months,
yeah,
because I had the experience of the other thing, but I was also in this other direction, having fun exploring. Yes, and that just happens with all the different manners of creation. You got to go in opposite directions, feed yourself. So
agree.
um, that's dope. Was there any Kay? Was there any sequencing here where you were like, "Wow, this is interesting"? Like you felt the difference in these songs.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like those first four songs really showed the
Woo.
versatility. But my favorite stretch of the album was really the last four songs.
Oh,
My favorite song was "Oh to the Yes Y'all."
geez, what a beautiful.
Word.
I thought it was like a beautiful beat, and then right to "Fine Wine," "He Walks Behind the Rose," and then "That's All, Folks." That stretch to me was just the versatility and sounds was just really hit home, resonated with me.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
I think
Appreciate that.
I think about He Who Walks Behind the Rose a lot because I'm like, if that had been the first song, everybody would have been like, "Ooh, we're on some hardcore Chicago shit. I'm into
Yeah,
it." But now, once you've been through this first four songs and you've like, man, there's so many different interesting grooves on there. Then to hit you with He Who Walks Behind the Rose is like, oh shit. Like,
yeah.
yeah, we're back. It's good.
I mean, I just love that opening of "Open Ballot" and "Reset" because like you said, most hip hop albums, they want to come out there, they want to smack you in the face from the beginning, like,
Yeah, dude.
Mhm.
yeah, we're here. It was more, I don't want to say it wasn't a muted, but it was more like the approach for the opening two songs was more like relaxed and laid back
Yeah.
Mhm.
in a way that I really appreciated. But there was still something. But that's the thing. When I say relaxed and laid back, there was still a couple of bars in there. That's what I like. For me, like this album, like hearing you guys rap, it almost felt like a sparring session in terms of
Yeah.
boxing.
Yeah.
Like someone would throw a little jab and then some hooks. But yeah, there was like the music was relaxed, but there were a couple little jabs and hooks lyrically in there that kind of liven things up for me as well. So I thought it was like a
So,
great mix and juxtaposition.
I love that.
thank you. That's amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
What's
I when I first heard Open Ballot, I was like, damn, this opener, sonically it's kind of muted,
yeah,
pretty. and it's just barring out. Like it's
Yes.
amazing lyrical. So I was like, this is a great example of how you open a rap album. You know, it's like
Word.
you set the tone. Here we are. Because as you know, being a creative person, everything you release is the first thing somebody's heard.
Yeah.
Right? Somebody pressed play on Open Ballad, and that was the first thing they ever heard from Gyroscope, and they were like, "Damn," you know. And that's you got to be in that place, stay in that place.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Agreed.
the
Thank
only
you.
real enemy of Gyroscope is autocorrect, which always changes it to a G.
Oh my gosh.
Y'all want to hear the story behind that? Why we picked Jay?
Might as well.
So in the midst of us, in the beginning of us cutting our teeth, we went to this open mic called 917 off of 79th in Cottage. It was a little east from 79th in Cottage, right across the street from east of the Rhine, Pimps Up, Holes Down.
In Chicago,
if
of course.
if you know, you know. But anyway, we came in and we was coming for the open mic. So you got to sign up for the open mic. And so when we first picked the name Gyroscope, and shout out to Dave Mack because he was the one that gave us that name. When we was in a basement, in his mom's basement, just talking about different names. And so we picked that name. We put it on the list. Now we all know that Gyroscope is spelled that way, but obviously the person that's the host, they read the name and what do they say, Kay?
J-Y.
They pronounced it. All right, we want to call up Gyroscope.
Wow.
Like, come on, dude. Yeah.
So we was like, this can never happen again. Like so in our mind, we like 19, you know what I'm saying? So like in
18,
our mind,
19.
we like 18, 19. So in our mind, we can never ever be played like that ever
Oh, it's
again.
crazy
In front of
embarrassing.
nobody. It'd be called Gyroscope. So in our
sounds
mind,
like a New Jack Swing act. It sounds
you know what I'm saying?
It could be.
And so the thing is that people that know how to pronounce the word, they know it says gyroscope. But in our mind, we was like, we have to trick people into saying it the right way.
Yeah.
And so we took the G out and put J. So when you see J,
It's gotta be a J.
You can't help but just say gyroscope. Even though maybe phonetically that probably is the J is probably silent and it would probably be Hyroscope or something like that. But in our mind, we was like,
Gyroscope.
we have to trick people into saying it the way we want to say it. So that's why we spelled it that way.
That's one of the best foods ever. I just have to. That's like.
The best.
If you send me to like a an island or something, and you're just like, you got to have like one food or something. That's a strong contender.
That's the one.
At that time, we like survived off of gyro cheeseburgers. Like gyro cheeseburgers.
Terrible diets back then. Terrible diet.
I mean, that's such a great origin story. Like born out of practicality. It's so cool. Like I was thinking about rap names recently because I was like, damn, you think about like LL Cool J becomes the world's biggest rapper at 16, and that's his name for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
That's
He's like 60 now. He's like 60 years old now. That's crazy. Ladies love Cool James still for like 50 years.
Rappers that have like important people now who are glad they weren't important when they were young because their first rap name was terrible. Had to redo it, and so I was thinking about, man, can you imagine you hit when you're 60 and that's you forever. That little joke is your fucking thing forever. And some of the rappers they'll be like, why is your name Mr. Pooh? Why are you called Mr. Pooh? And they'd be like, oh, that's what they called me on the blog. I'm like, dog, you had a reset You had a fresh start. You could have got you stuck with Mr. Pooh.
Like, what was 2 Chainz was Titty Boy, right?
Titty Boy,
You was reading my mind.
which was arguably a better name, actually. Actually, I would have kept that. How about it?
It was great. Titty Boy's great. It was the best part about the switch to 2 Chainz, K, was white people kept monitoring how many chains he had on at any given time. Because they're like some fucking, they're the Guardians. They're just so literal. They're like, he's actually got 3 chains. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, it's like so you always have to distinctly wear 2.
Jesus.
They got to be like the same width, also.
Embarrassing stuff. But yeah, no, it rap names. It's great. I think about them a lot, and like especially that mixtape era. You remember in the mixtape era, mixtape artists would be like they'd be like you call yourself Mr. Killface, and then they'd be like, we want to sign you, but we can't put a Mr. Killface CD in Target.
We got to change that name. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So you'd be like Mr. Face, and it doesn't make any damn sense.
Yeah.
But it's yeah, that I think about it all the time. But back to the conversation. The also I have a theory to kick. I have something to kick to you, Iceberg Theory. You've made a lot of great music.
Thank you.
My pitch is you should do a producer album.
I haven't done one in a while. The last one I did, Sloth Monk and Friends. That was the last one. I don't even know what year that was.
Gather the contacts, get everybody to hit you with a song, show them the diversity of what you do, man. Yeah, I think you gotta hit it.
It's been a while. It's been a while since I've been making any beats. But I just downloaded a Koala. So I got a few. I started making beats on my phone with Koala. So, we'll see. We'll see what right now I only got 2 of them. But I don't there's not I don't have any folders of like 500 beats anymore with like 365.3 or
No,
those days are those days. I mean they're that I don't even have access to most of that stuff.
Yeah,
I don't
crazy.
even. But
yeah,
but we'll see. Could rebuild. Well, I don't know. It would be pretty good. I don't know. Maybe people would be down.
I think people would be, dude. I think people would be.
We are.
Yeah.
You already know. I was just about to say that. Just let us know. Let me say this. When we heard Bloodstained Persian Rugs, that was like
Yeah.
that was the red carpet right there. Because that is it's something about me and Collasoul, like it's a certain grit and a certain pocket that we like resonate with. And Bloodstained Persian Rugs was just speaking to us. Like out of all the beats you sent us at that time, when we heard Bloodstained Persian Rugs, we
knew the album was one.
We was like, oh, we gotta cook this one.
That was so early too. You guys were really one of like 2 of the first people to really like mess with my production. So at that time, like that was like I remember that was like the first. That was probably from like the first batch of beats that I ever made.
That's
like
crazy.
I was just getting into it and being like, all right, let me, start looping some shit up and so forth. But like, yeah, I don't think I had produced for many people at the time at all.
That'd be so tough. That one is tough, man.
Yeah, I mean, what did Premrock said something about Elucid's beats. He said ear over gear. Some people have that, like they just hear sounds in a special way. Yeah, you could call it Chicago theory. Load it with Chicago people.
Hey.
Shout out, grab Kill Von Guard, grab some. There's people around there, man.
Tom can't sleep. Lamont.
Yep.
Let's go.
Get it popping. So, yeah, I just pitching. Kate, what other questions do you have for the people here?
No, I'm looking forward to getting into the Tomorrow Kings. I'm definitely going to check those out in the order that you guys recommended, and I'm looking forward to see what Gyroscope has in store in whatever year you guys release your projects.
Woo!
Yeah.
I love it.
Thank you, man.
I do have to say,
How,
go ahead, Ivy. You got.
no, I was going to ask Kay, how familiar are you with our catalog as far as Gyroscope?
I mean, I've only heard Overdue, so I've got a lot of
Ooh,
yeah.
happy medium, bro. You got to go back. You got to go back
Yeah.
and do it.
I'm going to tell y'all right now, one of my favorites is On the House, man.
Yeah,
On the
That's
House
a
is
fun one.
special.
crazy.
That
I've
was,
been
that was
fucking mute a
fun.
lot. I've been getting that into that. That's yeah.
On
Gyroscope
the house, is that a song or a project?
mute is
Project.
yeah.
Okay.
Project. Yeah. Well, technically, like a mixtape, if you will. I would say
Yeah.
a mixtape, if anything. Yeah.
You talk about Mute?
No. Happy. No.
Oh, On the House?
On the house.
And
Yeah,
now,
On the House. Yeah, it was like a mixtape. It was like a mixtape.
So I did have one final question because you guys were mentioning, cutting your teeth on the open mic scene.
Yep.
What for someone who hasn't been to Chicago, what can you kind of describe what that scene's like and how that impacted your guys' development as MCs? Like, what makes that scene distinct from other regions? Do you think?
I'm gonna be honest, and I'm gonna let my brother speak his piece too. But I think that what we witnessed at that time might be different than what it is now.
What was it at the time, you guys? Like, bring me back to that.
So one of the perfect explanations of what that feeling felt like, especially from a Gyroscope standpoint, I encourage you to listen to the Mute album. And the first song at the end of that record, Ill Subliminal explains the first time he met and seen Gyroscope perform. And he described the feeling, he described the time of Chicago and what it felt like and what we kind of meant to him in that space. Because we was totally oblivious to what that meant. We just wanted to rock. So I think he explained it so perfectly, like it made us resonate back to like, man, that was how it felt. So I do encourage you to listen to Mute, that first song. But if I could speak to it, I would say I think so. You gotta understand, like, and he talks about this in the story, but like for us, we was on the south side of Chicago, which is a totally different scene than the north side of Chicago. So we was in the hood off 79th and Cottage, but in all honesty, we was ahead of our time and we didn't know it. We came up listening to Cannibal Ox and Definitive Jux and
Galapagos 4.
Galapagos 4. Like we was listening to Quell and all of that stuff, like Typical Cats, and we was so immersed in the underground scene on a wide range nationally that we were so removed from what the Chicago sound sounded like at that time.
right.
But we're from Chicago and our experiences is in Chicago. So the merging of that made our sound very abstract and left field, but our lyrics resonated with what we seen and what we was going through. And I think that was the reason why, like, if you can pinpoint an album that I think the whole Tomorrow Kings resonate with, is Cold Vein by Cannibal Ox.
I was just gonna say that. Yep.
Because Cold Vein from Cannibal Ox was the first time I think all of us heard cats from the hood speaking about what they see in the hood over spaced out beats.
And in an abstract way. Yeah.
In an abstract way. And so like that was so intriguing to us that I think that just the formula of that, it wasn't biting their style. It was just it was that perspective that unlocked so many things in our faculties where we like, oh, well, I could take it there. I could take it here from a Chicago standpoint versus a New York standpoint. And so I think we were so young, but had convictions and that type of perspective that when we walked in spaces, we were totally different than everybody. And that's what blew That's what threw everybody off because they're like, man, who the hell is this? You know, like who are these
Mhm.
dudes? You know, like we never heard this sound before. We never, but at the same time, it was still something about us that resonated with home.
Mm.
So like I think the moment we start realizing that type of impact that we was making in those spaces, it almost became fun that we was these underdogs that nobody knew who we were. We fed off of that. Like we love the fact that you didn't even know who we was or what our sound was, so we can crush every open mic
Yeah.
that we ever went to. And we knew that when we left, people was gonna be like, that was totally different than everything I heard to me.
Mm.
And I'll
And
tell
and
you
we had
this.
pride in it.
Keep in mind, right? Chicago is a big battle city. A lot of people don't know that. Okay. Uh, so many battlers cut their teeth in Chicago, born and raised in Chicago. Rhyme Fest,
Right.
Prime, uh, Pugsley Adams, Sketch 185, obviously, Gilead 7. There's so many
Malak
like
L.
right, Juice, Malak L, like all these
Right.
people are like some dudes in our crew, some dudes that we know that's like, you know, a little bit outside of our circle, outside of our network, but also like people that we know and we rubbed elbows with. You really had to be dope to step into any cipher, to be at any open mic, to be outside of Columbia College when people were rapping. Like my sister used to rap, and she went to Columbia College too back in the day. So
Right.
like
Mm.
you really had to be dope to step into these circles, to be at these shows. Like people wouldn't just let you in. Like you had to be ill. And my thing is like Chicago is incredibly competitive. I know we have a bit of a reputation like, oh, we don't all fuck with each other. We're not all family, you know. Some of that is true, but I mean, we all wanted to be in the same room together to not only challenge each other, but like to actually, build the circle stronger and try to get together. But I mean, like, you really had to be dope. So Chicago's one of those places where people will cut your head off. You step in the circle, everybody gonna attack. Everybody will.
And
You all had to be good.
I'm glad you said that, Collasoul. Like, so right around this time, when like you talking about this 05 08 time frame, right?
Hmm.
I'm on the board of directors of a poetry reading in Portland, Maine, right?
Hmm.
Uh, Port Veritas, and we're going to places, and traveling poets are coming here, and there's lots of people from Chicago that end up here. And the reputation and what everybody said about the Chicago scene, open mic scene, was the same thing. Everybody
Yeah.
said the audiences are intense. Like,
Yeah.
our audiences, they're listening, but they're having a good time, drinking a coffee, doing whatever. Um, and they were like, the Chicago audiences are listening. Like,
Oh yeah.
they're listening, and if you suck, they're not gonna just clap you off. Like, um, and so that everything was just ratcheted up in that sense.
Yeah.
No,
100%.
the standard was very, very high. And I think that that's what made Tomorrow Kings, the members gravitate to each other because
Yeah.
we recognized that standard amongst each other. And we kind of realized that we was kind of the cream of the crop in some of those areas. And so like that really resonated with us. Obviously it's other cats that, we didn't link up with that we have high regard for and it's always respect. But that
Hey,
competition level was crazy.
so I want to say, IB, didn't we? So when we like, it was after a Scribble Jam, I guess, prelim battle. Didn't we? So we met in the parking lot after that show, right? Is that when we all came together and had that conversation? I'm trying to remember exactly
So the
about starting
story,
TK.
yeah, so the story goes, I don't know if y'all remember when Scribble Jam came to Chicago and it was at Reggie's.
Yep,
And
yep.
so this is the birth of Tomorrow Kings, the origin story. So obviously we all kind of like was cool with each other, but we wasn't a crew yet. And 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 so me, Sketch, Collasoul, had to be somebody else there, maybe Gilead 7.
Gilead,
And
I think.
and we was at Reggie's. And if you was at Scribble Jam at Reggie's, all of the hip hop heads was in it. Like all everybody that was from Chicago was in that space. And it all started from Sketch standing next to me, and he was like, IB, just think about it. If all of these artists in this room collab together, how many albums would we have?
Right, right.
And so that resonated with me. And then it made me think about kind of like our inner circle that we was already kind of hanging around. And that's what sparked the thought where I was like, I was in the parking lot with Collasoul, Sketch, Gilead, and I was like, yo, they keep talking about how Chicago doesn't work together.
Mm.
Let's start a crew. Like we all got high regards and respect for each other. Let's start a crew. And so the core crew was obviously the names I just mentioned: Sketch, Gilead, Gyroscope.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna tell you right now, you probably would never heard Gyroscope if it wasn't for Il Subliminal.
Right, right.
Il Subliminal, and that's the reason why I said when you go back, K, and you listen to Mute, listen to the end of that first track. That's Il Subliminal explaining how his first interaction with us. And so he's the reason why we went to Young Chicago Authors and we went to the North Side and we started going to like where the Chicago underground scene was. And that's when we started like showcasing what we could bring to that type of space. So Il Subliminal was automatically like, okay, that's true. And then Malak L was somebody that we always ran into, whether it was 917 or whether it was Subterranean, battling and freestyling and stuff like that. So we like, yeah, Malak crew. And then there was I wanted what was that show at the Metro that we went to? Was it Chirac? Was it
Chicago Rocks, yeah.
Chicago Rocks? Chicago Rocks. And that was when we already kind of had an idea of those names. And then Lamont was always somebody that we knew through the Young Chicago Authors and just through the poetry scene.
The poetry scene, I was just gonna say. Yeah.
Right. And we told him that we was thinking about building this crew. And then that's how he kind of came into place. And so that the birth of like the live show of us like doing something together was at Novum store, which was on Ashland, right off of Ashland and Milwaukee.
Chicago and like the northwest side.
Yeah, and so that was like we didn't have no material together. It was literally us all just doing solo material. So like we used to do Tomorrow King shows based on all of our solo material back to back until we actually created our first song together.
Wow.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Which happened to be
Android Killer, right?
Android Killer. Android Killer was our first posse cut.
Off Industrial Music.
That's dope. Do you know what the first Tomorrow Kings I ever heard was?
What's that?
The Tomorrow Kings Archives 5 songs on Bandcamp.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. It's interesting.
Yeah. I had a good time with that. I was like, this what was the Super Rich is on there.
Yep.
Driver.
Fine song.
Android Killer. Yeah, it's dope. Crazy 5 songs. So I was like, this is more. But yeah, thank you. This has been an amazing conversation. We've been able to cover a lot of ground.
Oh man.
And I'm
Thanks for having us, y'all.
very excited to have more Gyroscope. Oh, that was the last thing before we go to recommendation corner. Years ago, when I was doing my Tomorrow King dive, I messaged Sketch 185, who was nice enough to perform for us at our Free Music Empire event in New York. Shout out to Sketch.
That was
And
sketch.
we, I said, if Tomorrow Kings gets back together, they have a spot, with us, State of the Game. So, uh, if yeah, we will hold that spot because I have heard Salt and I am impressed. I am
Thank
impressed.
you. Thank you. Thank
That is going to be a lot for people. I'm excited for it. So, but because the
Amazing.
underground heads demand a lot in terms of
Hmm.
lyricism, and this is going to be a lot. I'm excited for to get
Word.
this work. But so recommendation corner, we talk about stuff we've been listening to, stuff we're enjoying. Um, for me, man, Another Nowhere by Tom Can't Sleep just
Oh
dropped
yeah.
today. Man, like
Hmm.
Tom Can't Sleep is absolutely brilliantly depressing. Like it's like a depression diamond, where there's no wasted space there. Yeah,
Shout out to Tom. Shout out Tom.
he's
That's
incredible.
fam.
Yeah, love his work. So go with that. And I've been doing a lot. Even dot biz. There's a new release by Mick Jenkins,
Mm.
A Murder of Crows.
Mick.
This is so long ago, but I'm pretty sure you could correct me if I'm wrong, Colosso.
Yeah, let's
But
go.
we gave Mick Jenkins his first paid show. He opened up for Tomorrow Kings
Yep.
at a what was the name of that spot down the street from
It's
Congress
just
Theater?
yeah, it's a spot that's like it was because it's now gone, but like literally around the corner from the world famous Congress Theater, which I think is now not a theater anymore. But
But
yeah,
yeah,
it
he
was
he he had opened
us,
up.
Mick, and Mr. Def C, who's also a fan.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
showed us love. He was like, "Man, this is my first paid gig I ever got paid for." We like much love. That's how we do it.
Yeah,
Def C
it's good
might have been
folks.
the one that
LMC.
gave me the roadmap to Tomorrow Kings. He might have been the one. Who could, yeah, shout out to him. But I was, yeah, so that's like I felt like Mick for a while is trapped in a weird space where he's not really underground. He's kind of too big for underground, but he's not really a pop star per se. So he's in this middle class space.
Mhm.
And when you get in that space, sometimes you get thirsty to make the song that'll get you up to the next tier. He's let go of that shit. He's rapping his face off. And I
Yeah,
love it.
he's ill. He's really good. He's
Last two
Yeah,
incredible.
projects, just rapping his face off, having a great time. I love it. So yeah, everybody check that out. Those are two Chicago recommendations. What else am I gonna do? Go with you know what? I'm gonna go with some soul music. Curtis Harding, Departures and Arrivals.
Mm.
Yeah, it's super dope. Yeah, great vibes there. Um, Iceberg Theory. What are you listening to, man?
Man, you got it right with the calypso earlier. I've been every day I listen to Lord Melody. That's all. That every day. I mean, like every day this summer at least. It was like since heard him, I just fucking been playing Lord Melody. Been Lord Melody
Dope.
summer.
So Salt and Pepper. You recommend Salt and
Salt
Pepper,
and Pepper. Yeah, that's what I told you about. Yeah. Did you check it out?
dude? That
No.
sex song is wild. Everybody should listen to Lord Melody's song "Sex" off Salt and Pepper. It Calypso songs about sex are wild. And
He's so fun. He
Indeed, they
also has
are.
another one. He's got another one about I think it was Mighty Sparrow's wife, and he called the song Belmont Jackass, and it's like all about how the wife looks like an ass, and how the marriage wasn't gonna last, and he's just like a whole fucking diss track to this dude Sparrow. But then I think I don't know if I'm 100% sure, but I think there was like something like Sparrow was in trouble, and then fucking Melody came in and was like shooting too or something. I don't know. Like he was helping him out of a jam. So I don't know. It was like it's like cool that like these dudes were like beefing somehow in their music, but it seems like the Calypso was bringing them together. I guess I don't know the carnival thing.
Yep.
So I don't know. But I've been listening to a lot of Lord Melody. Fuck else have I been listening to? I really like Tokyo Cigar's album, Mega Man Theory 6. That one, that's one of my favorite albums I heard in a while.
Shout out to Tokyo Cigar for putting me on a Wu-Tang album. Did you ever hear that story?
Oh, I think I heard. I think you're the priest, his project with
Hellraiser.
Hellraiser. Yeah.
Heavenly Cartel 3. He let me do spoken word on that shit. I'll never stop being thankful.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I got to do. I think I'm the intro or some shit. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, you were. I remember hearing that. Yeah, that was super dope. And then yeah, because then I listened to the interview you did with him and him and Hellraiser. And that's when you had said the thing about Tokyo, and I was like, that's when it clicked to me that you just get this music shit on such a fucking level. I was just like you seem to capture everything. That's when it really fucking hit home for me because I was like,
man, if she was, that's a moment. Tokyo's a good person.
Absolutely.
Own a lot on that. So yeah, it's good stuff. IB, what are you bumping?
You know what, man? I've been listening to a lot of Yusef Days. He's a brother from the UK.
A
He's
drummer,
a drummer and
jazz
composer.
drummer.
Any album from Yusef Days, he's amazing, man. It's just everything he does is just a vibe. So like I'm listening to him when I'm running. I'm listening to him when I'm driving. I'm listening to him just being still in the crib. Yusef Days is somebody I've been bumping a lot, more than probably anything else. Just real jazzy, progressive. He goes in a lot of different directions, but he's always working with a lot of great musicians. So that's my vibe.
And it's YUSSEFDAYES.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, it's incredible.
He's sick. He's sick, man. Like just if you want to vibe, if you cleaning up the house, whatever you're doing, man, if you want to just zone out and have like a good soundtrack in the background where it's not like sometimes he might have people that singing or something like that, but it's really just like soundscapes, man. And he's an amazing drummer.
I added black classical music. I'm gonna check that for 2023.
That one is a beast.
I'm gonna tell
that one. That one is.
Yeah, if you have something that can make me clean, then that's like that's special.
Yeah.
If it's music because that's hard. That's hard to get me.
I mean,
so if I could throw that on it, it'll actually get me to do something. Then you left me with that's a good gift.
No, I have started the interview. Kay knows is where I've been like, I get shit done to your album. Like I get shit done. That's
Monday morning cleaning, go.
productive, bro. Yeah, so I'm happy about that. Rob Collasoul, how you doing? What are you listening?
Yo. I'm good. What am I listening to? I'm listening to a lot. I switch it up every day because I'm an absolute madman. But I'm listening to Nubia Garcia's Odyssey. I've been into a crazy jazz kick. I think she's incredible. One of the best, like, great saxophonists right now. What else? Lucy Rose. I'm pretty sure she's from the UK. She got an album out. I gotta look at the name, but it's mostly produced by Quest. I don't know if you know who Quest is, but dude is like multi-instrumentalist. He did a lot of stuff with Mikachu and the Shapes.
Oh, okay.
A lot of production, like incredible. Like just Lucy Rose's singing is beautiful, smooth, sultry, even. But the production is really good. Like a lot of like layers in the production, man. Like it leans more toward like hip hop to me when I hear it. But that's dope. I've been listening to a shit ton of rap too. Just like I don't know what it is right now. I'm just like, let's hear some rap. A little bit of West Side Gun, man. It's weird.
Yeah, I'm
I
back.
don't know why.
We have some friends that did podcasts. What's up with the minutes? And they had a whole West Side Gun segment on how
Mhm.
good Heels Have Eyes 2 is, and
It's really good.
it's
I
just
still gotta listen to that. Fuck. I, I
It's
oh man, I love West Side Gun. So
and
if that's a
they're
good
very
project, I gotta
convincing.
check
So I
that out.
went back and I was like, oh shit, this is good. Like,
it's like it's like oddly really good. You're like, wait a minute.
No,
You're like,
he
what is he
knows the
doing here?
sound. He knows the
Yeah.
sound. You when it comes to rap, I've definitely like my two go-tos that just bring like when you go on Pandora and it's just a mixture of things in that sound. West Side Gun always falls into the loop of me playing Rock Marciano and
Yeah.
Freddie Gibbs. Like I've been playing like if it's rap and I just need to throw on some grit, it's Rock Marciano or Freddie Gibbs, and then that's when
Mhm.
West Side Gun comes in and it's a
Pops
whole bunch of
in.
other stuff that pops in, but it be in that type of space.
yeah, it's. I've had a weird relationship with Gun just in the sense that I don't know if you've ever been in a room with like somebody who's so loud that everybody else in the room wants them to lose at things. Like they're just like, I hate this fucking person now. Like
Yeah.
Gun sometimes gets in that space where you're just like,
Hmm.
I know
damn.
what you mean.
And but that podcast reset me with like this dude pushes the culture. This dude
Yeah.
experiments. Like the projects are different. Like the mixes are different. Like people experienced music people listen to West Side Gun shit and go, damn,
Yeah.
you know. And he gives like yeah, you've never heard Sky Zoo on a song like that. Like that's cool. It's cool that he has a positive effect on things, and I don't want to lose that just because of whatever surface shit.
I'm
So
gonna tell you right now, so, the person that was refreshing to me, so refreshing, is Stove God Cooks, man.
yeah,
That
yeah,
dude is just
Oh yeah.
he's just refreshing. Like the moment I heard reasonable, like
Reasonable
Colossal hit me
drop.
up, he was
Yeah.
when Colossal hit me up, he was like, bro, you gotta listen to this. And I listened to it, I was like, yo, this sounds just so like I know it's about Coke. I know he's talking
yeah,
about Coke, but it's just like the approach, it's just so refreshing, man.
You
yeah.
can tell
It's
he's
so
having fun
refreshing.
though. Like he's having a ball
Right.
at
Yeah,
creating. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah, he's an entertainer. You know what I mean? He's an entertainer. Sometimes MCs lose track of being an entertainer. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like I'm a wordsmith, and you're like, he- for somebody like Stove God, he's like, yes, I'm a wordsmith, but this is the circus, and I'm the ringmaster, and
Yes.
Hmm.
this is my fucking show. So I love that shit. Um, the last thing I would say, Kay, on there's two comic book series I've been getting into.
Mhm.
So they'll do reimagine characters all the time. That's how Miles Morales came out, right? Be reimagine things. And some of them are great, some of them are pretty forgettable. Um, Absolute Batman with Scott Snyder and Capullo, and Ultimate Spider-Man with Jonathan Hickman. Crazy reimaginings of those worlds. Giant differences, like that really pay off and are really interesting. Really thoughtfully constructed. It's fabulous. So, yeah, everybody should check those out. Even if you're like, I'm bored with Batman, I'm tired of Batman, I'm tired of Spider-Man. This is a completely new way to look at these characters. So, check that shit. Yeah.
Okay.
Kay, what are you rocking with?
Nothing new this week, but I appreciate you guys for putting me on to a lot of new things I need to check out.
I'm loaded up right now. I'm
Yeah,
loaded up.
I got a full
Dope.
list right here of all the things.
Gonna be dope.
Oh.
Yeah. And Bandcamp Friday's coming, so if
Woo.
the shit is dope, I can pay those artists. You know, I love doing that.
Hey
Um,
man, I just want to say we really appreciate you all, getting us
Yeah.
on here and just the respect and the love. You know, we put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in it. There's been a lot of like moments where, and you probably hear it in Happy Medium when we kind of just talk about being stagnant. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we have an appreciation for it. We know other people have appreciation for it, but sometimes you don't realize how big the appreciation is outside of your own mind and out of your own
Mm-hmm.
circle. And
Yep.
so every word that you all have given us tonight, just as far as a respect to like our craft, like just understand like that means a lot to us. You know.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's as a creative person, one of the reasons I started focusing on this and less on what I was doing was because I realized there wasn't people that cared enough about other people's shit. Most people
Mm.
care about their shit. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
they're like, yeah, you're nice, but you ain't me. You know, and that's the extent of that shit. And like, there was no
Yeah.
one to be like, no, he's nice. Let me explain how. You know what I mean? Like, and I can geek out on that shit. I didn't know that was a valuable skill for a long time. But like,
Mm.
I settled in. It was like, you know what? I'm gonna settle into using this for repping these other people so people understand how dope these cats are. And I've got we were lucky. We're lucky to see it pay off and for people to really get appreciated and that's everything. So yeah, it's always this is like a positive community space for legends, newcomers, and everybody in between, man. So glad to have you as a part of that universe. Um,
Thank
yeah,
you so much, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
no problem. No
Thank
problem.
you guys.
Yep.
We appreciate you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Only Kirk we respect is Franklin.
What will tomorrow bring? What will tomorrow